All right, hello everyone. Good day to you. Um, Good to have everyone right here on board. If you're just joining this platform, this is Beyond the School Wall, and this is our crash course episode on Beyond the School Wall, and we're going to be running these episodes for a while. We're going to be bringing to you crash courses, as touching a couple of stuffs that you might not be able to or have access to in what is it called now in an average traditional school. So we are putting together a couple of crash courses that help students maximize their abilities, their talents, their giftings, for profitability and productivity even as individuals. Now, once again, welcome to the crash course. My name is Oluwatomisin Oguntolu, and for some couple of weeks I'm going to be your instructor, or should I use the word instructor? I'm just going to be the facilitator. I think that's a better word, facilitator for the crash course series and episode. Once again, welcome on board. I hope you're going to have a proper and beautiful time with us in this series. We can't wait to start. Okay, so we're going to be starting with 3 things to know before choosing a course. These are the times where, and I'm sure if you're clicking on this link or you're watching this video right now, it's either you're about to write Nigeria WAEC or JAM examinations or whatever examinations that allows you to pick a course in whatever nation you're listening from right now. Now, there are 3 things to know before choosing a course as an individual. One thing about courses is that you don't just pick a course because you want to pick a course. And as I would always, or like I would always tell young people, the capacity to pick your course is not directly proportional to and there's this idea we have, most students have. It is that you pick a course that you like, and I'm always quick to ask students, have you done this course before? And it was like, no. So how can you like what you have not done? Let me give you an example. I get to consult or talk to young students, and I once taught in a traditional school. So when you ask a young person, what do you want to study in the university? They will tell you, well, I want to study accountancy. And I'm gonna ask them, I'm like, okay, why? Because the reason why you want to study a course is even more important than the course itself. Because when you don't have a reason for studying a particular course, I mean a genuine reason, you might get frustrated along the line, and then this is the reason why many people don't even know why or what they are doing in the university in the first place. So the first question I get to ask people is, why do you want to study this course? And most students are always like, because I like it. And I'm like, okay, you like it, have you done it before? I'm like, no, I've not done it before. So how come you like what you have not done before? And you're like, that's not what I mean. Okay, so what do you mean? So out of 10 students I get to speak with, at least 9 of them have this same challenge. So that is the reason why we keep having a whole lot of persons in the university studying diverse courses, but we have little results even in our nations. I use examples like we have thousands of economic students every year graduating and all of that, and yet we still have economic instability all across the face of the earth. All nations in the world are suffering from economic instability, and yet we produce more economic students than anything. And that means it is either the curriculums that are being taught the students are not correct, or disposition of the students to these courses. So do you understand why we are taking this simple crash course right now, to help young people understand why they should have proper understanding before picking a course. You don't choose a course because you just like it. You must have reasons why you're picking a course. I want to study accountancy. Why? 1, 2, 3 reasons are why I'm studying accountancy. Valuable, valid reasons why you're studying the course. Are we ready? Are we ready? Okay, so three things you know to know before choosing a course. Number 1. All right, I have a short, what is it called, quote right here from Joanne Cornell. And this individual says, one thing they do not teach you in college is what you will actually be doing in a career of your choosing. And I believe this quote is really very, 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 is beyond a quote. It is a message sent to the heart of young people. They teach us everything in college except things that really matter. I don't have a problem with the traditional school system. They do their job, but I think they've come to the end of their effectiveness in a generation, literally, because we are shifting from the point where we begin to talk about traditional schools. We are shifting into having more specialized schools, especially with the kind of operations and demand of the 21st century into the later futures. The school is not picking up any of those curriculums. I'm sure many of you have heard of artificial intelligence. You've heard of a whole lot of stuff right there on out there. But we have young people that are not even anywhere near prepared. Of course, I know some traditional schools are trying to adapt, but you can't adapt and make AI and robotic class. They make it now extracurricular activities. Those things are not meant to be extracurricular activities. They are meant to be curricular activities. That means robotics and software engineering should be taught to students at least half of the school day. You understand? But the school still wants to hold on to our traditional method of mathematics and English and social studies, and the world keeps evolving around that, and yet the school is not changing. So one thing they do not teach you, in college, is what you actually be doing now that you have, that is, they in most traditional school, they have consultants that consult for students, and then you get to talk to a consultant, and then they will ask you, what do you want to study, why should you study? So they will do, but they don't tell, what do you do with that course, what exactly are you doing with that career? So we have individuals that want to become doctors. Why? Some of them would say, well, I want to care for people, which of course is nice, but it is still at a very generic level. That is not enough reason for you to want to study medicine. Literally, caring for people, you could do that in almost any sphere. You could do that in almost any career choice. You could do that in almost any sector. You could go into hospitality and tourism, hotel management, and yet still care for people. So why medicine? Why not hotel management and outdoor catering? Why not counseling? You could care for people. Why not social works? Why not humanitarian services? So most people don't have all of the information, so they just say, I just like medicine, I want to study medicine. You don't just like a course you have not done before. I wish you together. It's just like when you were in JSS 3, you were asked to pick you imagine you said, I like chemistry. Have you done chemistry before? That's many of the challenges you make. Okay, let's go right into this stuff and all. Okay, number 1, discover purpose. I know this looks like this is what everyone says, but let me help you understand it a little bit. Don't run away, just listen to me now. When you want to pick a course and you have not discovered your purpose, you're going to be making a mistake and an error that many people do. And somebody will say, well, do I have to discover purpose before I choose a career? Yes. There is no boycotting this reality. If you don't know why you're here or the reason why you are, nobody was given birth to by mistake. I always put it this way. Everybody on earth, or every man on earth, literally every human on earth, was actually brought here for a purpose, and that purpose is not something vague. You were brought here to solve a problem. When challenges and problems of life got to the apex of its capacity, you had to come on earth to fix that problem. So everyone on earth has, a purpose to fix a major challenge on the face of the earth that has to do with sphere and sectors. So that means the reason why you were born, and you listening to me right now, is not because my mom and my dad met themselves and then they just liked themselves and they wanted to give birth to a bouncing baby boy. That was the orchestration needed to bring this vessel right down to solve a major challenge. So when the problem in the educational sphere got to a point and got to a more sophisticated capacity, and I had to show up, of course, in time, but I knew I didn't have all of the knowledge and all of that. But this is one individual that is a solution to that challenge in that sphere. So there are 7 spheres of influences generally acceptable, from religion to education to business and finance, to family, to art and entertainment, to media and ICT, to politics and governance. You listening to me right now are a solution in one of these spheres, and that is the what is it called, the introductory to discovering purpose. Because if you know, okay, I think I'm going to function more in the sphere education, then it's easier to now begin to know, how do I bring a solution to the sphere education? And in thinking of that stuff, you now begin to expand your curriculums, expand your ideations, expand your mind, and then you now know what course to literally go study. If you know you're a solution in the sphere family, I know, okay, family, not because family has to do with a whole lot of stuff, from health to community. So I think I'm going to suffice more, or I'm going to find fulfillment more in the sphere family. But beyond just being in the sphere family, I want to be a system that cares for people. I want to see families, especially babies. I want to see babies live long. Kind of stuff. I've seen challenges around babies not living so long. I want to see babies live. And the reason why you pick a course or a career path is because you felt career path is not the end, is the means to an end. Many people treat courses and careers like that is the end. So when I become an accountant, that is the end. No. Becoming an accountant is a means to an end. Becoming an accountant so you can solve financial challenges and economical, challenges in the world, not just in your pockets. So you are not an accountant so you're going to have some 500,000 naira, 1 million naira monthly salary, and you think you live a good life. You're becoming that stuff so that you can solve a people's challenge. Careers and courses and all of this stuff are not to make your life better. They are to make other people's life better, yet you get the benefits. Do you understand how it works? So I want to, you see young people, young children especially, grow old, grow up. There's a whole lot of death that's touching young people. And the person looks and says, okay, what will help me facilitate this purpose that I want to fulfill in life? And then it looks and says, okay, what I can study medicine, but what aspect of medicine will help me achieve this stuff? And okay, there's something called pediatric medicine. Okay, I want to study pediatric medicine. Now, if you ask the individual, why do you want to study pediatric medicine? He says, well, I have a real challenge for young babies. I want to see young babies grow. I want to see every child grow. Every child is a potential. Every child is a solution to the world. Just the same way I was a solution to the world. What if I had died as an infant? I wouldn't be here today. And you're looking at the dexterity to which that young lady thinks, and you're like, wow, this lady will really go far. No, I want to study pediatric medicine. Why? I just like it. What you have not done before. I will see you together. So I have 3 things to note here. Number 1, do not hastily pick a course if you have not discovered yourself as an individual. Courses are platforms to solve problems, not just receive certificates. Courses are how you find expression in spheres and sectors of human existence. So you're not picking a course so that I just want to go to the university. You are not just going to the university. You are trying to study a course to become a kind of person that can solve a kind of problem. This is the major challenge where we have people study a course, graduate after 4 years, depending on the number of years for the course, graduate after all of those times, and yet are not useful in the context of humanity, because What do the person want to do? You study accounting and yet you have not dabbled into financial technology and then begin to consider or outsource, what is it called, solutions for the financial industry. Nobody's going to tell you. Of course, you should be in the sphere business and finance, and you're right there making research, because purpose purpose should I use the word outshines or outperforms academic prowess. Once you see a man that is purposeful, you don't tell that kind of man to study, you don't tell that kind of man to read. He reads because he reads beyond the school curriculum, because he knows the school curriculum cannot cover the totality of what I want to do with my life. How we see you together. So number one, discover purpose. Number two, but before number two, I have a short quote here also, of course, from the biblical scripture, Proverbs 22 verses 29, ESV version. And he says, do you see a man skillful in his work? He will stand before kings, he will not stand before obscure men. Do you see a man skillful in his work? He will stand before kings, he will not stand before obscure men. Now, let's talk about number two, which of course has to do with discover strength. Now, I noted in this couple of places, just 3 pointers to note. Number one, do not attempt a course you have not developed strength for. Now, you're going to ask me, am I not contradicting myself? I've not done this before. How will I develop strength for it? You develop strength for the course. You don't pick course when you get to SS3. And maybe you're sitting before the WAEC, what's it called, registration form. Like, wait, what do I want to do with my life? You should have successfully keep preparing your mind for this eventuality, I believe, from GSS 1. Are we seeing that? So check out your strength. And I talked about strength is not, I read a lot. That is not your strength. That strength is not, I read a lot. Strength is not, I had A1 in my last examination. What are your strengths? Let me define strength for you. Strength is what puts you to action. Number one. Number two, strength is what fuels your capacity. In other words, it is called passion. What are you passionate about? Now, let me explain on a more granular level. We talked about a lady that wants to study pediatric medicine and then began to talk about, the reason why I want to see young babies grow. Now, everyone has that passion, which of course is called strength. Many of us grew up in a family and a background that was not so wealthy and so, well-to-do. It should be a major, you would have said, well, that is not a weakness. That is what should galvanize you to want to solve financial challenge on a major scale, not even for your life alone, but for everyone that ever comes across your life. Are we seeing together? So let's say is turning your pain to strength. I heard of a testimony of a young woman. I can't remember her name right now. She was one of the individuals. She has an organization that has to do with, is a medical organization, but it has to do with transporting sick, injured people through the helicopter to the nearest hospital, or even if they have to transport them outside of Nigeria itself. And when I was reading the story of this woman, I can't remember her name anymore. She said I believe she and her junior sister traveled from the US to Nigeria. I'm not so sure about the story, but let me just believe I'm saying what is correct. Now they traveled down to Nigeria, and then the little sister fell ill. And then before they could transport her to the hospital, because of the many traffic and all of those, there was nothing to lift her to the nearest hospital. I think she died. And then the lady says this was what strengthened her, because she could have sat down in that pain and said, well, my sister died. She took that pain and turned it into a strength, and she went ahead to build one of the major health organization in Nigeria, and I'm sure across major countries in Africa. What they do simply is, there is an injured person, sick person, maybe victims of collapse and all of these stuff, victims of accidents that need to be transported to a proper facility, a medical facility. They do not just ambulances alone, they do air transports, that is using helicopters to transport individuals so that they get there on time, so they can be administered to. and she, of course, she's very wealthy right now and all of those stuff. That is a woman who has discovered strength and then worked in the maximization of her strength. Are we still together? So number 2 says, do not attempt a course you do not have accurate information on. You want to become an accountant. What do you know about accounting? You want to become a medical doctor. What do you know about medical doctoring? What do you know about medicine? Don't say, well, when I get to this university, I will be taught. You will not be taught. Sit down. This is one of the assignments I give to my young person. Define, get information. What is medical doctoring all about? What is the history of medicine? What is the history of medicine the past 500 years? What was medicine like 500 years ago? What was medicine like 1,000 years ago? What is medicine like now? What is the prospect for medicine in the next 50 years? Because that prospect is where you're going to find your space. That is where you're going to find what to do. Or else you're just going to be like who has been before. Many people, this is why we don't have unique, young individuals on earth. We don't have young individuals in spheres. We don't have young unique individuals. Everybody is doing what every other person is doing. Take this little assignment. What was medicine or whatever course you want to study? What was accounting 500 years ago? What did accounting look like 500 years ago? What is accounting right now? And what is the prospect for accounting in the next 50 years? If you do all of those 3 diligent studies, you will find out that you will know, wow, this is what I think I want to do with my life. I have found this stuff out and this is what I want to prosecute. And on the strength of that stuff, you will find out that many things you have to learn would have to be self-taught. I will see you together. Number 3, do not attempt a course you have not envisioned yourself in. That means if you do not see yourself becoming an accountant, don't do it. It doesn't matter who wants you to do it. I will see you. Don't say, well, my dad said I should become a medical doctor because all of us in our families are medical doctors. It's beautiful, it's a good one, but have you seen yourself as a medical doctor? Take 1 minute, close your eyes, pause this video. That course you want to pick, envision yourself in it. Do you see yourself in it? Don't see yourself in it for the money. Do you see yourself in it literally? Do you see yourself as an accountant? Look into the next 10, 20 years. Are you going to be comfortable? Are you going to be happy? Remember, this is what you want to do for the rest of your life. There is no changing. You can't come out and say, well, I studied accounting but I want to start acting movies. That is a proof of a confused life. Why not fix it from the beginning? I wish you to get that. Envision it one more time. Pause this video and envision it. Do you see yourself in that career path? If not, this is the right time to change it. I will see you together. Number 3 thing you need to know very quickly before you choose a course. Okay, we have another, short extract here. Proverbs 14 verses 12 KJV says, there is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. There is what people think they know. People use, especially young people. I work with young people a lot. That means I get to have impact in young people's life. And I found out that every young person has what they want to do. Every young person wants to do what they want to do. They believe they know what they want to do. And most times, many of the things they think they want to do in the nearest futures does not even make any sense. Okay, let us move on. So we have number 3 says, identify career prospects. We talked about that in number 2. Don't take a course if you have not identified career prospects. Number 1 stuff you need to note is that every course leads to a career path, and every career path is an entrance into an industry. So accounting is a course that leads to a career path that has to do with accountancy as a career path. Then we go into the industry that is banking and finances. List in your papers if you're listening to me with your people. List number 1 course, put an arrow under it, career path, put an arrow under it, industry. Define these 3 prospects. Number 1, okay, what course do I want to study? Accounting. Beautiful. Now, what is the career path for accounting? Of course, accountancy. That is the career path. Accountancy and accountancy basically, and company, organizational finance and all of that. Then draw, what is the industry I'm going to find myself in, which of course has to do with banking and finances. Now, if you look into the industry, what do you know about the industry? Have you made research about the industry? What do you know about banking and finances? Are we still together? If you don't know anything about it, don't think you're going to learn this stuff in the university. There is no space in the university to learn these things. This is the best time that you can sit down, make researches, sit down, build all of these things, study, know why you're doing this stuff before you commit yourself to it. Remember, this is your life. You don't want to waste unnecessary time because you did not, make due diligence to what you should have studied. Are we still together? Now, number 2 point you need to note says, the path you walk can determine the total outcome of your life. And this is quite truth. The path you walk determines what your life is going to be about. I used to use this example that I learned. 2 individuals went to the same university. One of them studied education and the other studied medical sciences and medicine. Now, both of them graduated. No, let's say the first one studied Yoruba language because he thought it was easy. And I'll say this, just in a passing, do not pick a course because it is easy. Always go the hardest path. Take the hardest route. Don't take the easy way, because the easy way is not going to pay you on the long run. You might ease your way through the university, but when it comes to the real vicissitude of life, you would find out that you don't have the capacity to, explore as you want to. So one of them studied Yoruba, the other studied medicine. Now, because of the mental strength and the mental stretch, it's not easy to study medicine. Of course, many sleepless nights, many studying. Now, the person studying Yoruba was always in the Yoruba, and he just read some maybe basic books. Both of them went to the school for 4 years. They graduated. The person that studied Yoruba I'm not sure he can work anywhere other than a secondary school. Maybe we say embassy. I know people say, well, he can work in an embassy. Well, to work in embassies, you must know people, basic, stuff. So let's imagine the best bet was a secondary school. I'm not sure the person can be paid maximum a Yoruba teacher 50,000 naira. Now, this other individual studied medicine, graduated after some couple of years, began to did housemanship, all of those stuff, and then began to work as a medical doctor practicing. The first salary he received was close to some 250,000 naira. Now look at that individual 250,000 and look at that individual 30,000 naira. Don't ever say don't ever be in the situation where life will look unfair to you because of the choices you made. Go the hardest path. Take the hardest route. It will be strenuous, it will be stressful, but the end result is going to be beautiful. Do you understand what we just did? So these are the 3 things you need to know before you pick a course, before you pick a career, before you begin to do anything as touching your future. This is your future, and only you can decide what you want to do in that future. Only you can walk that future, and only you have the capacitation to envision a proper future for yourself. I think this brings us to the end of the crash course for today. If you love this and then you like this, you can share, like, comment. If you have any questions, especially practical questions, comment them, put them in the comment section. If you want to know more about Beyond the School World, you can go on Facebook, just type Beyond the School World on Facebook, or Telegram, or you could just check up on our link, that's linktree/Beyond the School World. We hope to hear more from you, and there are going to be more videos coming your way as much as we can. Until we see again, my name remains Oluwatomi Sinoguntolu. Remember, your life is in your hands. Don't pick courses and don't choose courses that would end up, or you will end up regretting. Go the hardest path. If this is what I would round up with, learn it. Go the hardest path. Choose the hardest path. It's going to, come out very beautifully on the long run. See you next crash course. God bless you.